Hello, my lovable misfits. How y'all doing today? I know I gave you guys a mini update on the first video that I have uploaded in over a year, but I felt for most of you that have been through this entire journey with me, cancer-wise, and even met me and grown to like me before my cancer journey even began, I feel I needed to do an update video on what's been going on because I feel you guys deserve it because you've been with me through thick and thin, through here and there, and for those of you that have been with me since way before I started this channel, you know that my hubby and I have been through it. There's going to be some rambling because this isn't scripted, and this is a video about cancer, medical procedures, depression, and seeking help for depression. So if you're not keen on listening to any of that, then feel free to skip the video. You're not going to hurt my feelings any. I completely understand that for some people, detailing medical problems and talking about depression is very uncomfortable and very unsettling. So I get that. So without further ado, November of 2023, the PET scan results had revealed that I had less than a year to live. When the doctor told me this, I was not really processing it at the time. Hubby was in tears and obviously needed tissues and things, and I was just sitting there staring at her because I think my brain was in shock as well as the rest of me. Mom let us move back into her house under the stipulation that the puppy stay with Ronan and that I could be in the house with her for, medical visits and things of that nature. Palliative care began. Treatments were stopped except for a drug called Tivdak, which was an infusion drug that it was supposed to arrest the growth of the tumor. So, to prolong my life as much as possible. So that journey started then. So started my brain just trying to process the fact that I then had an expiration date that I wasn't expecting, which kind of dumped me into the dumps really big time, and it took me a while to realize that what I was experiencing was depression. During all this going on, because of the previous chemo treatment, whose name I can't remember, I think it's Pax something, and then the Tivdak afterwards, which is an immunotherapy drug, I now have neuropathy in my fingertips minus my pinky fingers, both of my feet, and also to a certain extent up to my knees and both of my legs, from my toes to my knees, with my two toes drooping. For those of you who don't know what neuropathy is, it's a type of nerve damage, and this was done because of the treatments I was receiving. Because the neuropathy got to the point it did, they stopped the Tivdak. So I am not on any kind of immunotherapy or chemo treatments for my cancer. This palliative care doctor that she referred me to is great. He gave me an opioid pain patch because I was in a lot of pain. So we're managing the pain. When I finally got out of my depression, which I will talk about a little bit later, I delved into double-blind studies, peer review, really scientific research to figure out if there were any herbal supplements out there that could help arrest the growth of the cancer or possibly treat it in some way, and I found 2, turmeric and mangosteen. No, I am not one of these herbalist health nuts that are going to recommend everything to you under the sun. I research stuff out the wazoo first before I make my decision. And so far, they're working for me. And I'm going to leave it at that. I have more energy. I'm feeling a lot better. My pain is a lot less. I have been able to go without taking any kind of Tylenol on top of the pain patch. I even forgot to switch out the pain patch for about 4 days and not have any pain to contend with that way. So there is some progress, but I don't know much because, I can't give myself a PET scan, so I have no freaking clue. the depression was the worst depression I had ever been through. I mean, I was in the bed, I was under the covers, I was watching TV, I was waiting for the world to go away. I had just had this feeling that everything just needed to disappear because I was dying, so why, even keep fighting? Which is the worst mentality to have with this kind of disease and illness. So, I kept trying to get myself out of it, only to wind up back in the depression again. I found through this depression journey that there were a lot of people out there that I really didn't know gave a shit about me. They were wondering where I was, if I was okay, if anybody had heard from me. So I had to dip my head above the water in which I was drowning long enough to tell people I'm still breathing, but I kept going in and out and in and out. And finally I had a problem and had enough of the in and outs. I knew I had to do something, so I got referred to a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. So for a while we would talk, I would talk, he would listen, he would give me suggestions on what I could do to take my mind off of the fact that I had an expiration date. And what games I could play, tried to meditation. I haven't been able to meditate, so that hasn't worked yet. To make myself be more social, which I have, and that has worked a lot. The depression brought on writer's block, but I'm back to writing again, a little bit at a time, but baby steps are always good, especially when they're in the positive direction. So there is that. I still have minor bouts of the mopes, but not to the point where I am back under the covers not doing anything. I am more active in my server, and as you can see, I'm uploading videos again. And this is all due to, my friends that are in my Discord server, and a lot of you that have just reached out to, ask me how I've been doing and all kinds of stuff like that. So along with this wonderful cancer journey and where the cervical cancer is, it has encroached on my ureters. And for those of you who don't know what those are the tubes that connect your kidneys to your bladder. So I have what is called nephrostomy tubes that are connected to my kidneys and lead to external tubes down to bags that actually hold my urine. So I have what are called P&T bags, so my kidneys won't get damaged. I walk around with those on a daily basis, swap them out on a periodic basis, and every 3 months I have to go back into the hospital for what I jokingly call a 3-month, 10,000-mile tube switch. So I'm contending with that too. Do I hope that a PET scan will be ordered and that the PET scan shows that the cancer has decided to finally read the eviction notices and shrink? I would be an idiot if I said no. If there's anything in the world I'm wishing right now is for this cancer to leave me alone and let me go back to some semblance of a normal life. And I say some semblance of because the neuropathy is never going to go away. It's just something I'm going to have to contend with and deal with for the rest of my life. As well as the chemo brain, because chemo brain never goes away. It's not as bad as it was when I was doing the chemo treatments, but it's still there. It still makes my brain skip synapses. It still makes my mouth disconnect from my brain and make me stop mid-sentence. It still makes me forget what I was about to do, or sometimes what I'm doing in the middle of doing it, but I'm managing. And that's all I can do right now, and I am happy about the fact that I am managing. I'm happy about the fact that I am no longer wishing for the world to go away, because I want to get back to being busy again, and I want to get back to making content for you guys. So, there's the update. And yes, this was a stream of consciousness thing, because I didn't script this. This is just right off the top of my head. So, I hope I didn't ramble on too much, and I hope I didn't gross you guys out too terribly much. So, until you guys see the next video I'm about to upload next week, be good. If you can't be good at it, my little misfits. I love you all, and thank you for the support.